Hey guys, it's me, Adoette. I'm going to an open call at a modeling agency today in Portland. From the open call at the modeling agency, and I'm about to explain what pretty much happened. So what happened was I found a bunch of legitimate modeling agencies near me. I did research on every single one of them to make sure that they were legitimate. They all had a submission option on there. So usually with that, they ask you for different shots of you, like a headshot, full body shot, some with swimsuits, some with like solid colored clothing. It's tight fitting so they can see your form, and also I wore no makeup or very little makeup, as in just like foundation and mascara, and that's it. My hair was completely natural. That's what I wore for each photo. That way they can see what I look like just as I am, because they have to see you in that way. You really want to show them your true self so that way they know what you truly look like. I submitted those photos, and some of the websites, they actually ask you for your height and weight and all that, so I didn't lie on any of that. You don't want to do that, because even if you go there and they want to see you, they're going to take your measurements anyway. So this agency actually emailed me back saying, "You look great, can you come in this Thursday?" But unfortunately, I didn't make the cut. They don't tell you why. I'm pretty sure it's probably because of my height, because I'm 5'5", which is considered short in the industry. Pretty much we arrived, and I made sure I was like 30 minutes early. I was either 30 minutes or 20 minutes early, whatever. Sat down, they had papers for us to sign to put down our height and weight and the experience we had with modeling or acting. Just basic information. Like, I was prepared. I had my little portfolio that had my best shots of photos in there, just in case, and I also wore solid colors. I wore flats. I didn't want to wear high heels because I didn't want to make the impression that I was lying about my height or anything. There were quite a few people there. About seemed like 15 people were there. Then the owner came out and explained what was about to happen. He said that he was going to take our measurements, like our height, and tell us whether they can find jobs for us or not. So we had to take off our shoes because they wanted to take accurate height measurements, and we got in a line and had each person stand against the wall with like a measuring tape thing, and they took everybody's height, and we had to take the paper that we wrote on and put it beneath our chin, and he took a picture of every single one of us. Then he and this other lady went back, and he said, "We're going to pretty much talk about which ones they're going to keep, I guess." So they went back in this room and closed the door. They talked for probably like 4 to 5 minutes. It didn't take that long. And he came out and he was like, "I have the papers for those who didn't make it or we don't believe we can find work for." He read off the names, and I was one of those people. And he said, "Thank you all very much for coming. You are free to go now." So we left, and like I said, he doesn't explain to people like why they didn't make it or whatever. It's either you make it or you don't. And the people who made it, they stayed in there. I don't know what they were going to talk about or how it was going to work or whatever. But I'm fine. I know for a fact I more like 90% would not be able to make runway modeling, which is something I don't really want to do anyway, but I was hoping to do like commercial modeling or modeling for like catalogs or simple store modeling stuff. I know it would be more difficult for me because I am 5'5" and I am considered short in the industry. But I'm fine with it. I mean, it happens. There was this super tall and skinny girl. Like, she looked like one of the runway models that you would see. She was 5'10", and she didn't make the cut. And this girl that was in there also, she was 5'4". She was really tiny, and she made it. And 5'4" is like really short in the industry too. So it really just depends. It depends on if you have a certain look, or sometimes they just make exceptions, and sometimes even if you do meet the requirements, you're not chosen. So it's just different every time, and it really could be anything as to why you didn't make it. They didn't tell me, so I think it's because of my height. But am I sad about it? Not really, because the way that I look at it is, in the modeling industry, it's jobs. They're jobs. It's like any other job. If you don't fit the requirement, then you're not going to be able to get into it. It's kind of like a regular job. For example, if you wanted to be a writer somewhere and they require like a certain, let's say, bachelor's degree, and they require like a few years of experience and different education requirements. Just get out of high school and I try to apply for that job, they're probably not going to take you. Try not to take it too personally, because what happens is, let's say for modeling, they have one sample size and the designer will come out with one sample size, and that one sample size usually fits the taller women. And even if a modeling agency were to sign me, and if they sent me off to that job, that particular job, I wouldn't be able to fit the sample size anyway because I'm too short, you see? So I'm not really like too upset about it, because just because of that reason, like I wouldn't be able to fit the clothes anyways. I mean, I can't force myself to fit a piece of clothing, you know what I mean? Like, so it's not that big of a deal to me. Try not to beat yourself up over it. Even though the door didn't open for you at this time, maybe it might open in the future, because you never know. Like, sometimes they do make exceptions. I don't know why. It's just different every time, and I would just keep trying if I were you. And I mean, I've been working on this for 4 years, and honestly, I don't really think I'm gonna get that far or anything with it just because of my height. If that door does open one day, it's perfectly fine, and if it doesn't, then it's okay. At least I can say that I tried. And same for you too. At least you tried, and you're learning. You're getting an experience out of this, and that's like the greatest thing ever. Be proud of yourself, keep trying, pray about it, and just do your very best. And even if you don't make it, just keep working hard and keep pushing yourself, and maybe some door will open one day, and that's all you gotta tell yourself now. Yeah guys, that was my experience, and I hope this helped you guys in case you were wondering how it all worked. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!
Like me, are you strange like me? Lighting matches just to swallow up the flame like me. Do you call yourself a hurricane?